Bum 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 bum.
In this unit, you'll learn how personal hygiene helps to prevent food contamination and foodborne illness. Lesson 1 is about hygienic work practices. Work practices refers to the way you do something at work. You will notice that some slides have a little cloud in the corner like this, with a letter and a number. This lets you know that the information on the slide can help you to answer a question in your cluster assignment. In this case, Part A, Question 11. A disease is an illness. Hygiene is about preventing illness. Illnesses can be transferred in the following ways. An airborne disease is an illness that is transferred through the air. A foodborne disease is an illness that is transferred through food. And an infectious disease is an illness that is transferred through other humans or animals. When we talk about hygiene, we are referring to a high level of cleanliness. We will be focusing on personal hygiene, which is keeping ourselves clean, and environmental hygiene, which is keeping our work area clean. Personal hygiene includes personal grooming, which means having clean skin, hair, teeth, and breath, and using deodorant. It means being clean-shaven and having your hair combed, wearing a clean uniform and covering your hair, wearing no jewelry, clean, trimmed fingernails with no polish, and regular hand washing. Environmental hygiene includes the work areas and equipment, including fixed equipment like stoves, bench tops, sinks, fridges. It includes walls, floors, and shelving in the kitchen and in the food and equipment storage areas. And linens, such as uniforms, aprons, cleaning cloths, tea towels, oven mitts, tablecloths. Environmental hygiene also includes the garbage area, both the bin area inside the kitchen and the collection area outside. Why do we need to wash our hands? The main reason is to avoid transferring bacteria. Click on the link to see. So now that we know why we need to wash our hands, when should we wash them? We all know to wash our hands before starting work, but are there other times to wash them as well? There are. We wash our hands anytime they're dirty, after using the toilet, after touching our face or hair, after preparing or serving food, after touching raw meat, after eating, tasting, drinking, or smoking, and after coughing or sneezing. There is a correct way to wash our hands. Click on the link to see how. The reason hygiene is so important is to avoid contamination. Contamination is when something that has the potential to make someone sick gets into the food. Food can be contaminated in many ways. The most common ways are physical contamination, when physical items fall into food such as broken glass, hair, used Band-Aids, rubber bands, foil, or plastic, or any number of other items. Chemical contamination is when chemicals such as dishwashing liquid or fly spray or chemicals such as pesticides from the farms get into the food and aren't washed off. The most common type of contamination is microbiological contamination, when bacteria, viruses, and other microorganisms get into food. They can contaminate the food through dirty uniforms, dirty hands, coughing in the food, preparing food when sick, or when you have open cuts or sores. Another way that microorganisms can be transferred to food is through cross-contamination. Cross-contamination is when bacteria is transferred from one place to another. An example of this is when a chopping board has been used to cut raw meats. Raw meats carry bacteria. If the chopping board is used to cut a ready-to-eat food, such as lettuce, without sanitizing the chopping board first, the bacteria from the chicken will cross to the lettuce. There's a big difference between cleaning and sanitizing. Cleaning is when you use a detergent and water. The steps for cleaning are: first, remove any visible dirt, food, or any other debris with a cleaning cloth. Next, you wash the area or item with detergent and warm water. Then, you rinse the detergent. Finally, you dry the area or allow it to air dry. Sanitizing is done with an antibacterial spray on a surface that has already been cleaned. Heat is also a good sanitizer. When the temperature is more than 75 degrees, bacteria will die. The rinse water in the dishwasher is over 75 degrees to ensure that the utensils and equipment are free of bacteria. There are many areas to clean in a hospitality establishment, and good hygiene is important in each of them. Here are just a few of the areas and their specific cleaning requirements and procedures. Accommodation, where people sleep, such as hotels, motels, etc. Dirty linen needs to be removed using gloves and kept separate from clean linen. In kitchens and food preparation areas, hand washing and food safety procedures are the most important. In food service areas such as dining rooms, gloves should be worn for food handling and preparation. In storage areas, cooked and uncooked foods should be stored at the correct temperature and in a way to avoid contamination. In a laundry, dirty linen should be washed at the correct temperature. In public areas such as public restrooms, toilets and restrooms should be kept clean using the correct chemicals and equipment. And in garbage areas, hand washing is very important after handling garbage, and the area itself should be kept clean to avoid pests and vermin. Now let's check to see what you've learned in this module. Click on the link and you'll be taken to an online quiz. Enter your name and the access code. You'll be given 20 minutes to complete the quiz. The results will be sent to the teacher. Congratulations! You have completed Lesson 1 and have learned about hygienic work practices. In the next lesson, you'll learn about hygiene hazards and how they impact on food safety.